Okay. Well, the good news is, Chad, I have somewhat of a game plan. I just don't know if it's going to be enough. Got 4 players on a list of those we can try to buy out, as long as there's not the whole 3-player buyout limit to this point. Love me some Malcolm Subban, but he has to go. He's not going to improve enough at this point. I need to clear up that roster spot. It'll be a 4-year buyout at about $300K a season. It's very much worth it. We'll move on. And again, we can't currently trade right now in this time frame. It's the re-sign phase, not free agency. So Malcolm Subban is out. From there, it's a bunch of forwards, which was kind of surprising. And they're actually all centers. Dyson Stevenson, despite showing up as a B-, he's not going to get better in certain ways that we need him to improve in for his player type. So it's a 4-year buyout for him. It's just under $300K. There is also Max Reinhart. Same reasons. We're going to move on from him. And then hopefully it also lets me buy out Michael Chaput. And it will. So there is no limit on buyouts, or at least it's more than the modern day of 3. So we're going to have a decent amount of dead cap. That doesn't free up as many roster spots as I wish it did. Again, I'm not worried about signing Pettersson. He is as good as he's going to be right now, basically. He might get a couple points better. It's better to just try to trade him instead of signing him. Monahan, thankfully, is only 19. We don't have to sign him yet. He's still junior eligible. Steckel sucks, so that's fine too. Chandler Stevenson is a playmaker whose offense isn't going to get better. We are hopefully, if Chandler Stevenson, we're not going to sign him. Hopefully we can trade him. If not, and he walks this offseason because his rights expire, which the game doesn't do a good job of telling you if that's going to happen, we're going to let Chandler Stevenson go. He's never going to be a good playmaker. And since I can't change player type, he's got to go. Alex Galchenyuk. Same thing. His offensive potential is a C. He's never going to be an elite offensive force. If I could change into a 2-way defender, I would, but I can't. So we're going to be letting go of Alex Galchenyuk as well. Have fun in the KHL. And then Carlson we don't have to worry about. Nail Yakupov we obviously have to sign. He went up to a B potential. His offensive potential is a freaking A-. In this reality, Yakupov's going to pan out, which is great. So he will be the first guy that we send a contract to with the 4 spots we just opened up. We're not going to worry about Chad Thibodeau, given the fact that his offense and skating sucks. So we're not worried about that. Actually, let me go back and double check centers really quickly. Just to double check. Yeah, Pettersson's at a C, which again is improvement, but for the most part, holding pattern. Monahan's only 19. Steckel sucked. Stevenson, Galchenyuk. Okay, so we are all right. So left wing wise, it was Chad Thibodeau, which again, good defensive potential, but everything else sucks. I'm not going to worry about him. If he walks, so be it. Anders Carrick's only 19, so we should be okay. We just drafted Brock McGinn. He's a 2-way whose defense isn't going to get that much better. Not going to worry about signing him. Andy Hilbert, or Acom Hilbert, and I was thinking of Andy Hilbert, former Bruin. Acom Hilbert, we don't have to worry about signing yet. Nor Pavlikovsky. And then that right wing side, Sebastian Trudeau is a playmaker who can improve offensively, but his skating's not good enough to warrant him being signed. Tom Wilson. It's Tom Wilson. The problem is his offense isn't really going to improve. And offense is pretty important for a power forward. If I could change him to a grinder, I would. Because he's going to be a good grinder, but he's not going to be a good power forward. I'm going to probably let Tom Wilson walk or try to trade him if his rights haven't lapsed. Defensively, Morgan Riley isn't going to improve defensively, which is accurate, but his offense and athleticism can still improve. For that reason, we are going to send Morgan Riley a contract offer. There's Cody Ceci. Gotta be honest, his skating's never going to be great. His defense will get better. His offense will get a little bit better. But if he walks, he walks. And I think I'm okay with that because he's going to be a bit of a boat on skates. So I'm not about it. Kozlov. Same thing. Can't skate. His defense is never going to get, or his defense is going to get better. His offense is going to get better. But his skating is not going to improve by that much. So if he walks, he walks. Ryan Pollock, I'm not worried about. Mr. Weberman. His defense isn't going to get much better. My issue is that he's a defensive defenseman, and I can't change him to an OFD, which scares me. However, I am incredibly biased, so I am still signing him, even though it goes against the logic of certain other players. Osprey, we don't have to worry about. Griffin Reinhardt. You could make an argument to sign Griffin. You could. Right now, we only have one other roster spot, so we want to be a bit careful. Ryan Murray. His defense and offense, it's not going to improve. His skating will get a bit better. If he walks, he walks. Charles David Baudouin, as we'll call him. You can see his potentials. He's not going to get better. So we can let him go. Frederick Ackerman, we just took in the drafts. Not going to be able to skate, so I'm not immediately worried about signing him. Vlasic was 19, so we won't worry about him. And then Derek Pouliot sucks. So we made it work, and we actually bought out one more contract than we needed to. I'm going to risk Griffin Reinhardt walking away because I would rather want to make sure I have a guaranteed spot open in free agency rather than having to trade somebody. So let's see if those deals go through here. They should. And they did. So Nail Yakupov, officially. It's officially official. Nail Yakupov. Columbus Blue Jackets. I like the sounds of that. This version of Nail Yakupov, at least. All right, so first things first. We got some players that if we still have their rights, we need to trade these guys ASAP. Because we know they're not going to make it. So there's Christian Forrester. He kind of sucks. Could easily look to trade him. We did just sign Brandon Hope. However, that reflexes category is not really going to get better. Might have to move on from him. Niederberger. The athletic category is not... God damn it, these goalies. What's Martin Jones looking like as an RFA? Martin Jones is still going to be improving. Kevin Poulin. The Poulin. His reflexes are at least at an 80. Okay. These three younger goalies have to go. There's no reason to keep them. And most teams probably do not want multiple goalies. So honestly, 5th round pick for Niederberger. Perfect. Let's just sit here and pick Horde like crazy. Let's go to Forrester. The Bruins do not need a goalie. Holy shit. Buffalo. 5th round pick for Forrester. What about a 7th? There we go. And then we'll go over to Hope, who I thought we could be hopeful about. We cannot. So we trade him to Calgary for a 7th, and hopefully this improves relationships with teams across the league for the fact that they are fleecing us. David Savard. I want David to stay unless we get a good offer for him. John Moore. Same thing. He's at least a good skater already. Nicoletti, who we got debated for. I want to keep Nicoletti around for now. Nybrant, who we drafted before. Or traded for, I think. That guy's definitely staying. Stuart Percy is one of our more valuable defenders. He's definitely staying. Okay. Jared Tenorti. Is there any reason to keep you? Yes, there is, actually. Shockingly. David Rundblad. Who, again, is actively declining in terms of defensive abilities. He is a good OFD, though. I'm going to keep him for now. Sami Vatanen. Worth keeping Sammy for now. Andre Padan. Channel legend elsewhere. He's worth keeping because he's a DFD. Whoops, it swapped him and Joe Morrow. Why would you do that? Joe Morrow. He's staying. Ryan Pulock. His defense isn't going to get better. His skating isn't going to get better. Ryan's got to go. Can I at least send you to the New York? I'm at least going to try to send people now to the teams that they were actually on. Can I send Ryan to the Islanders? Ryan Pulock off to the Islanders for a 5th round pick. I technically could get more, but again, it hurts me every time they say no. So it's like, just take the first deal. At least give us something. Jimmy Oligny. He's at least a good enough skater that he can stay. Oh, Rumblad's already a liability. Morgan Riley. Of course, we already looked at. His defense isn't going to get much better, but we'll keep him. Dougie. How's Dougie looking? All right. Still getting better. Bedoin. And yeah, we already talked about how you're on the way out. Let's just try to send you to the New York Rangers for a 5th. How about a 7th? There we go. So we're going to have a lot of picks in this year's draft, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Kozlov. How's he looking? Can't skate. Can't skate. Ottawa, do you want him for like a 5th rounder? How about a 7th? Thank you. Help me free up these roster spots, please and thank you. Weberman stays. Vlasic sucks. He's out of here. Like I said, it was a lot more difficult, I feel like, at the time to stack players because the teams were smarter about needs and they're like, I don't want 5 frickin' defensemen. What are you doing? You know? So that's why I'm not doing that, and I'm just trading for picks individually. Nathan Beaulieu. His offense isn't going to... He's an OFD, not a DFD. Shit. And his offense isn't going to get any better. Not by much, at least. Mr. Beaulieu. Let's see if we can send you to Montreal. You played for a lot of teams, but can we make you a hab? 5th round pick, Beaulieu, is gone. Derek Pouliot, we know, absolutely sucked. Let's try to send you to Nashville, I guess. He's out of here. Osplund. We just picked up. A little bit disappointing, but he is at least a DFD, so that saves him. Eric Roy, Eric Wah, whatever you prefer. No, he's gone. Our scouts were very, very wrong about him. Just give me a 7th round pick, LA. Thank you very much. And yes, I am going to pay our 7th round picks to try to trade up. And then Ackerman is our last defenseman. He's a DFD whose skating isn't going to improve. Let's move on from him. We got like a 6th rounder from Florida. What about a 7th? Okay. So, we have all these late picks. Let's see what we can pair all of these 7th round picks for. In the joys of pick hoarding. With Tugi 24. Can I get a 3rd? No. Can I get a 4th? No. Can I get a 5th? No. Can I get a 6th? Well, I traded 5 7ths for a 6th. Worth it? Probably not, but I also don't know if there's a limit on the amount of draft picks I can have. So it was probably necessary, and I also ruined my relationship with the Florida Panthers in the process. So that's good. We got Nash, Jones, Stefan Nason. His skating is bare minimum in terms of being acceptable. Bare minimum. Maxim Mayorov was decent at this point. So was Karan. What about Toby Reeder? Reeder skating also like bare minimum level of being decent. Nick Jensen. Power forward. Can potentials change? They can. But I want to prioritize the guys who already have good potentials. That way they're not competing for those spots. There's an argument with Jensen and Raquel. Okay, Mayorov is what he is. Jordan Caron is still getting better. Let me go back to Mayorov. He was a playmaker, wasn't he? Yeah. Okay, he's fine then. Let me look at Reader again. I'll leave Toby Reader. One more look at Jensen. I'll leave Nick Jensen for the moment, too. And then Ricard Raquel. I am going to move on from Ricard Raquel at least. If I can send him out to Anaheim. Yeah, players can improve in potential, but there's no guarantee of it and anything like that. So, and like I said, we already had a lot of guys signed. So, right now we're just trying to whittle it down to the best of the best. And then we got to check the free agent list as well. Let's see, Pavlikovsky. His defense isn't going to be good enough. So, let's do Pavlikovsky. And the 7th round picks that we have left, because we're going to need to get more anyway. Can I get like a 4th round pick from Anaheim? No. Can I get a 5th round pick from Boston? Son of a bitch! Whatever, just give me a 7th. Jesus. I just need him off the roster. I didn't even get anything for him. 7th round pick trade value is literally dirt, so... Thibodeau, again, is going to have no offense. He already can't skate. His defense will improve, but... Boston, give me back some of those 7s now. Left wings. Hunter Shinkaruk. He's a playmaker whose offense can't improve. He's out. He is out. Sorry, Hunter. Let's send you to Vancouver for the hell of it. Why not? Maybe you'll do well there. Maybe. Brandon Saad. He's a two-way whose offense isn't going to get much better. His offense is really bad. Like, I know he's a two-way and he's defense first, but gotta be honest, Saad, I don't like the looks of it, buddy. Let's send you to Chicago. A 5th rounder wasn't enough. Jesus. So we got Helpert. What about Barnett? You ever gotten a good potential in the 6th, 7th round? In this game, yeah. It happens. We had a couple dynamite drafts on 21. Andre Palat. Outside chance that he can still improve, but we'll keep him around. Brock McGinn is a two-way. His defense isn't going to get any better, so whatever. Fuck it, Carolina. Who cares? Who cares? There you go, Brock. Have fun elsewhere. Josh Levo. Again, his offense isn't going to... He's the exact same player as Brandon Saad. Gonna move on. Let's send Levo to Toronto. What else do we have? Sven Berchke. Can still improve. That's good. Philip Dano. Still improving. It's so weird to see him as a playmaker. Brad Ross. Can still improve. Sean Couturier, we know, is going to be fine. Yeah, especially because he's a playmaker in this game. It's funny how player types change. And then this guy here, Vincent Marcoux, yeah, he goes nowhere. All right, we just have the centers now to clear out, and then we can take a look at the free agent list with plenty of roster spots. Matthias Karlsson is a grinder with abs. So here's the thing. If his offense was a C, I would keep him. His offense is actively getting worse. He's 19. And his offense is already getting worse. Let's just move him. How the hell is your offense getting worse at 19? Send him to Toronto. Or not to Toronto, to frickin' Washington. I was thinking about Toronto. Raphael LaFontaine. He's my one guy. Like Grant Weberman. He's my one guy that I'm keeping, even though he's not good. William Carrier, speaking of not good in this game, unfortunately. Stanley Cup champion, William Carrier. I can't send him to Vegas, so I'll send him to Buffalo. Get a future 7th. Thank you. William Carrier is out. Whoops, didn't mean to double check Trocheck. Again, Trocheck's fine because he's a playmaker. He was a Blues pick. I know, but he ended up on the Sabres. I'm not automatically sending them back to where they came from. Peterson's an interesting one, though. He's a 76 overall at 20 years old with C's. I'm going to use him as the experiment to see if someone can improve. No, I'm not. Yeah, you know, I'm going to use him as the experiment. Mark Scheifele. He's sticking around. Vlad Nemesnikov. He's sticking around. Looks like we have quite a few centers, which is nice. Sean Monahan isn't going to get better defensively, but he's a playmaker. And then all these guys actually have value. Okay, I think we're good. I'm going to keep Pedersen, too, like I said. We just freed up a lot of contract spots, I would imagine. We did. We're looking pretty good here. I do want to take a look. We have 3 RFA goalies. Jyrki Asplund. I don't know if we want to sign him yet. All of our unsigned guys were just drafted this year, with the exception of Sean Monahan and LaFontaine. But all of them should be able to be sent down to the AHL, so we got to keep that in mind. My GM rep sucks, so there's absolutely no way I'm going after any of these RFAs, even though I'd love to. What a world we live in where Zach Hommel apparently developed. Good to know. Good to know. But looking at the UFAs, for goalies, Jonas Hiller, but he's 32. Eddie Lack at 26. What do we have for prospects here? What do we have for prospects? A lot of B minuses, damn. Shout out to Tyler Buns. Jordan Cook, 74 at 21. 74 at 21 might be the best it gets. Dustin Tokarski's out there. Mark Byzantine. Yeah, 74 at 21 is about the best it gets. Yeah, like Riley's reflexes aren't going to get any better. What was the other guy? It was you, Jordan Cook. His athleticism isn't going to get any better. So that really doesn't help. Mark Segal's 22 and a 73. Morgan Clark. All right, so Segal. Let's mark down Mark Segal, who is 72 at 23 years old. Excuse me, I lied. He's 73 at 22 years old. Am I dyslexic? I might be. Holy shit. Morgan Clark was 24. Let's see. Anybody else? The B is across the board. Tokarski. I mean, Tokarski is definitely an option, even though he is a little bit older, but he is useful now. I thought that was going to be Mikko Koskinen. Ramus Sadikov is worse than Segal. St. Laurent's not going to cut it. Byzantine's not going to cut it. Guillaume Nadeau, 22 and a 73 is about the same. Tokarski would mean to trade Poulin. Poulin's an RFA right now, so I'd be okay with that. So we got a couple of goalies who aren't bad. Ooh, there's the best of the bunch. Brandon Glover, 72 overall at 21 years old. He is the best of the bunch right now. That's the guy. We could maybe look at Tokarski, but in terms of goalie prospect, it's Brandon Glover. So we will offer this dude a decent amount of money, and then we'll keep Tokarski in mind for defense, or for goalies. For defense, Andrei Markov, Jeff Schultz is back out there at 28. I guess I don't really have the good OFD to pair with Schultz right now. What do we got for prospects? Only B minuses. Let's see what we got. Wow, there's a lot of defensive prospects. Okay. Let's see. Dylan Busenius. Who is a 74 overall at 21 years old. That is not bad. Anybody else match that? Sefton is a two-way defenseman, so we'd want that offense to be there. Holden's a two-way. Bjorn Krupp can't skate. Tyler Moore. Michael Claffey. So we got Claffey, who is a 72 overall at 22 years old. Simone Dupre. His defense isn't going to get any better, though. Jimmy Sheehan. The Sheehan. Who is a 71 overall at 21 years old. Charles-Olivier Roussel. Ooh. 76 overall at 22 years old? Okay. That's not too bad. Guillaume Belanger. All right, there's quite a few there's quite a few defenders here that aren't that bad. Ron Jaffrey's not going to cut it. Bonomo, I mean, the offense isn't going to get any better, but we can get guys who are more well-rounded, so I'm not going to worry about situational. Travis Bobby. He's 24 years old. He's not going to cut it. Cody Ceci, of course, who we let go because his skating's never going to be that good. I mean, there's an argument that it's close enough to the 80s, but yeah, I'm not feeling it. Yuri Zhamnov as a tough guy. Not bad. Like I said, I feel like we can go for more well-rounded players. Tommy Kavisto. Given that you're 23, I'm going to rule you out. Patrick Weirkoch. Oh my God, he's a 79 overall at 23 years old. Well, again, you know how I feel about real players that don't have player pictures. However, Patrick Weirkoch is great. So, yeah, we're probably going to sign him. There's also Davis Van Dane. Davis Van Dane. 73 overall at 22 years old. Pierre-Luc Pelletier. Kyle Pereira, I imagine. He's also not... Pereira? I don't know. He's not that bad. Tyler Wotherspoon. Not going to cut it. Nepessis Andre. As opposed to Andre Nepessis. Nepessis Andre. Sergei Malovich. That guy's fucking huge. So again, we're going to be able to mark down who the best of the best are. There's Calvin DeHaan, but again, his defense isn't going to get better. Although, he is an OFD. 23 years old, 80 overall. He's an OFD. Honestly, I think Calvin DeHaan has made the cut because of his OVR. Anton Klementiev. 24 years old. Luke Mercer. Dude, there's a lot of freaking defenders here that aren't that bad. I know we have too many OFDs, but right now we just need the best players available, and then we can worry about player types once we're making a cup run. Right? Like, it's like, oh, we have 6 OFDs. Well, cool. I'll trade 3 of them for DFDs. And then we'll be good to go. You know? Dominic Bielke. 74 overall at 23 years old. That's a bit too low. Colin Sullentrop. Is probably Swellentrop, perhaps? He's pretty good. Tough guy, Garrett Clark. Man, he's going to be a tough guy with good skating. How old is he? 21? His offense isn't that bad? I'm tempted. I am tempted. He could be an interesting one. Robert McEwen. Jesus Christ, there's so many half-decent defenders here. What is going on? Why the hell aren't people signing these guys? Tyson Barrie. I mean, we had him in Edmonton, but there's a chance we could bring in Tyson Barrie. There's also a really good chance that we bring in Ryan Haynes. Lance Pridham is also worth the second look. Kyle Schmidt. Oh my God. Dude, there's so many. There's so many. Freddie Clayson. He's a DFD, though. His athleticism is apparently going to be amazing. Another tough guy, Igor Yuchevatov. Yuchevatov. There we go. Another tough guy who's honestly not that bad. How many do you have listed? It's a lot. Holy shit. Michael D'Orazio. Dude. What the hell is going on? 75 at 23. All right. Well, it's a good thing we cleared out roster spots to make room for at least a couple of these guys. There are a crap load of defensemen, is the only way to put it. Allow me to do a little bit of sorting by age here to try and see who the best of the bunch happened to be, because there were a lot of available players. A lot. God damn. Most of them being 21 years old as well. I'm looking at the ratings. Russo was a 76 at 22. So Pereira's out. D'Orazio's out. The two 23-year-olds that survive are Calvin DeHaan and Patrick Wirkoch. And those are just outright the two best guys to sign. Let's see if we can find them really quickly. Those will be the first two that we send offers to. And then we'll see how many other spots we have left. But for defense, it's going to be on a one-way deal, no less. It's going to hopefully be Calvin DeHaan and Patrick Wirkoch. And then maybe that enforcer. But we haven't checked forwards yet, is the problem. So we gotta be sure. Just finished watching the Cardinals video. Masterclass by Dennis. That Cardinals franchise was a lot of fun. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Wait, there's another doozy of a Madden franchise coming up on the channel once that one's over, let me tell you. Whew. All right. So forwards. Top right wings, Peros, Stempniak. Nobody too crazy. In terms of potential, oh God. Get 7 spots after all the cuts, yeah. All right, so we got our goalies. We got our defenders. Who do we got at right wing? How many prospects that are worth it? Josh Curry. Mather's offense is already getting worse, but he is going to be an effective tough guy. He's going to be a pretty effective tough guy. Apparently tough guys aren't difficult to find. Jonathan Hazen, he's 24. Tomas Yurko, okay. All right. He comes back to us after all this time. The Yurcho. Josh Nichols. Hug me, brother. Luke Judson's 23. Carl Klingberg is also 23, but he's a 76. That is not as bad for obvious reasons. Corey Trop is 24. Klingberg looked better. Alain Saulnier looks okay. 72 overall at 21 years old. Obviously, Yurcho's a little bit better. Benjamin Laliberté. 74 overall at 20 years old. That is the best player we have seen so far. Anybody else? Carter Ashton, Leafs legend. The exact same thing as Carl Klingberg. Dude just doesn't have the offense. That doesn't have the skating. Tom Wilson, again, didn't have the offense. That's why we dropped him. Alex Malay. Let's see what we have for you. Scott, hello, Scott Kosmachuk. Wow. La Liberté and Kosmachuk right now are stealing this forward position away from guys like Tomas Jurcho, because that's really, really good. Wow. So yeah, that's not even a question. If we were to go for a right winger, who would it be? It's not even a question. The left wing side, Chris Higgins, again, UFAs. It's going to be mostly veterans. No outright B potentials. But if we look at left wings, who do we have? Anybody good? Taylor Stefishin. It's 23 and a 74. Jeremy Gucci. Not looking too good. Stanislav Galiev is better. So Galiev is a 74 overall at 22 years old. Anybody else that fits the bill here? Brett Mackey, 23 and 73. Not so hot. Rhett Rachinsky, 22 and a 72. It's also not that good. Scott Trask. All right, Scott Trask looks okay. 74 overall at 21 years old. What else do we got? Mitch Maxwell, 23 and a 74. Adam Lowry returns. Baby Lowry. All right. All right. Adam Lowry's looking like a solid player. Mitchell Robillard. Ooh. Mitchell Robillard. Not looking too bad either. 20-year-old Brett Hester. But he is only a 70 overall. It's a bit disappointing. Mitch Clark. It's just too many good players, man. Like I said, we're going to get the best of the best. Hopefully. Ty McGinn. Great athleticism. Corey Cowick. He's 24. Mika Partanen. Another good young Finn. A- offensive potential, Cale Kessie. That is very promising, isn't it? Very promising. All right, that brings us to centers. That brings us to the centers. Gomez, Legwand, Alex Steen. Nobody that we need for the current trajectory that we're on. Nobody with an outright B. Steel Boomer is there, though. Michael Chaput, who we let go of. Alex Durrett, who is a 74 overall at 22 years old. Curtis Valk has that A. If he could skate. Has tremendous offensive potential, but the guy can't skate. Oh, Cody Payne. So far, easily our top center option in the few that we've seen. Colton Stevenson. Turns out he's a little bit better than Chandler. Jonas Nattanen, 23 and a 76. That's not bad. That is not bad. Jordan. I guess it would be. It could be Casimlio. How much emphasis do you want to put on the cock in Coximlio? That's the question. How much cock emphasis do you have, chat? That's a question for you to answer. Joseph Grammarosa. Jeff Brown, 24 years old. Galen Patterson's 23. Chris Collins. Why couldn't you be Chris Collinsworth? Now here's a guy. Chris Collins. So we got Matthew Siska. He's 23. Kane Franzen. Oh my God, dude. Seriously? Kane Franzen. 73 at 21. I'm glad he's older because, I mean, chat can't be mature. Jared Knight. Bruins legend. Jared Knight. Anton Gustafsson, he's 24. Corey Nagy, he's 24. How old's this dude? 21. Anthony Bardaro. Anthony Bardaro, 74 overall at 21 years old. Carl Antoine Delisle is the same thing. Steel Boomer. Oh, he's 23, though. Damn it. Kenton Miller is, too. Cody Lindsay is 24. Callie Josefson. Callie Josefson, 70 overall at 20 years old. Craig Moore. Tim Tonkeev, I wish you could skate because you have that good potential. Got your Nick. Nicholas Dion. Another solid 21-year-old player. Terry Comtois, can't skate. Manraj Hayer. Manraj. I don't know if he'll be good enough to make the cut, but we'll put you on the short list. Scott Lawton. Can't play offense. Ryan Davidson. Can't play defense. Hello, Brady Ramsey. Hello, Brady Ramsey. Anytime you see an A potential in there, you got to be happy about it. A- offensive potential is a two-way. Okay, so we've sent deals to Glover, DeHaan, and Weirkoch. So that should put us with 4 spots left, including the RFAs, I would think. So the top forwards available, if we take a look at this, give me a moment to go through yield process of elimination really quickly. So looking through here, pretty much know the top centers. We already had the top right wings, top left wings. So, in looking at this list, it needs to be Ramsey at center. Brady Ramsey needs to be a top target. The Blues are also interested. It needs to be Cale Kessie as a left wing because he had that A potential. It's a B- overall, but he had an A in there as well. And that's where we'll start. That is where we will start and then see what deals potentially come through on early round picks. I'm willing to give up anything but first round picks. And there is an argument that eventually we have to start trading the youth. So on the block, now it's just the veterans. So David Jones. I don't know if I'm putting Nash there, but he is 30. He would be the guy to put there. Jones, Nash, and Mason. Cody, take it easy, by the way. Let's see if we land these free agents here. This could help a lot. Mazzaros and Kovar for Mason. I'll say no to that. Okay, who are we going to land here? Brandon Glover accepted. Brady Ramsey, Cale Kessie, Calvin DeHaan, Patrick Weirkoch. Can't take that deal either. Okay. So it's showing us with 39 contracts at the moment on the part of the screen that's cut off by my webcam. It's showing the reserve list. 39. So theoretically, it would be 39 plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That does bring us up to 48. So it is factoring in the RFAs. So right now, we only have 2 other roster spots. And if we look at the best players left overall, if I shorten this list, give me 1 second here. I'm literally just cutting names off of a Word document. If we look at the best names left, we do get quite a few players that we could go for, in all honesty. Doesn't really make it any easier. Just looking back through. I mean, the good news is there are players we can go after, which is great. Okay. The best of the bunch. Honestly, Cody Payne and Scott Kosmachuk. Those are the 2 best that are left. So Cody Payne, where were you? Said we wanted to be pretty methodical about this. Get rid of the guys who weren't quite going to make it. Make sure we got the best possible developmental system we can possibly have. Please don't tell me I went right over Kosmachuk. Oh no, someone must have signed Kosmachuk. Is La Liberté here? Okay, he is at least. He and Kosmachuk were about equal. So Benjamin La Liberté fits the deal as well. And then we'll just have to worry about the RFAs. Maxim Mayorov accepted his qualifying offer. Andre Kostitsin for Rick Nash doesn't interest me. La Liberté accepted, but Cody Payne had to decline. Shit. That's okay. They were the same. Same age, same overall. Nick Leddy took his qualifying offer. I was waiting to see, and we can really quickly, if there, any offer sheets we're going to come in for some of these players. A 2nd round pick swap, and we end up back with that defensive prospect. Or no, it's a different guy. It's Lawrence Hallweg, who sucks. No. No, I don't think I'll do that. Lokhtianov takes the qualifying offer. David Savard. Steve Mason. Let me guess. Miura also sucks? No, wow. Timmy Miura is actually pretty good. 19 years old and a 71 for a 2nd round pick swap. And he can't be under contract because I don't have the space. So, yeah, we'll actually do that. Well, Pittsburgh just handed us a goalie prospect for absolutely no reason. So that helps quite a bit. Now they want a 1st round pick swap for Igor Galiev, who does suck. Fool me once, shame on you. Mason for Olmark and Grachev. I mean, I'm thinking Steve Mason's going to be sticking around here for a while. Martin Jones took the qualifying offer. John Moore, who's an RFA for a 3rd round pick, basically. That's going to be a no. Ryan O'Reilly for Andrew Cogliano. That is also going to be a no. John Moore takes that QA, or QO, I should say. Again, it's a shame I can't go after the RFAs without further nuking my my reputation. But there's nothing I can do about it. But I am really, really happy with how this team's shaping up. Like I said, once we kind of notice that, we're at the point where get rid of people, start building the team up, we'll be able to hopefully turn things around quickly with all the prospects that we have. Move out the weaker ones, And we got a crap load of draft picks this upcoming year. $19.5 million in cap space as well. We are set up so well here. Let's double check what RFAs we might still have. Which is literally just Kevin Poulin. And honestly, Martin Jones is good enough to be the backup. So can I trade Kevin for anything. I mean, Jones would take away time from Glover in the AHL. So yeah, can I trade Kevin Poulin for anything? Is there anybody that's like in big need of goalies? Carolina is a backup for Ward. Poulin's value. If I use Kevin Poulin and a bunch of late picks just to make sure there's not some weird thing with the game crashing if you have too many picks, because we do know that is the case in some of these games. Poulin and a bunch of 7s for the 3rd. They apparently don't want another goalie. You're idiots for not wanting another goalie because you could really use another goalie. Is there another team? Edmonton. Come on. Okay, Florida's here, so you have 3 goalies signed. 3rd round. 4th rounder. Fine. There we go. Whatever. Florida needed it. They absolutely did. Stupid for them to not do it. So now if we go back over to contracts, we had a couple of guys that we didn't sign this year. I'd prefer to have a couple of waiver spots open. So let's see what the next season Blue Jackets are going to look like. I don't need another AHL goalie because who gives a shit? Like, Glover's the only guy I care about. So it'll be Mason and Jones, Glover in the AHL. Doing what I always bitch about the AI doing, but at least I'm doing it with intent. Defense is Dahan, Savard, Leddy, Moore, Weirkoch, Rundblad, and Sammy Vatanen. With Tenorti, Padan, Hamilton, Nybrant, Percy, Morrow, Riley, Weberman, and Aligny in the system. Are they all in the AHL? 9 defensemen. That's not that bad. Then for the forwards, Nash, Brassard, O'Reilly, Jones. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. The team's actually looking much better. And then Brad Ross is the 13th man. We got some good prospect development this offseason. The team is actually looking pretty solid. Best lines goes Yakupov, Brassard, and Nash. I'm all right with that. Niederreiter, O'Reilly, Jones, Couturier, Lokhtianov, Mayorov, Ross, Mahler, and Caron. So it scratches Ryan Johansson. Defense, Leddy, Savard, Dahan, Moore, Rundblad, Weirkoch. I mean, if this team made the playoffs last year, I'd like to think they can do it again. With a roster like that, a lot of our younger guys getting better, we're on a pretty good path right now. Honestly. All things considered. This challenge might not take as long as I originally thought that it would. And we're really close to being able to either get the amateur scout further up there or the assistant coach. I mean, the assistant coach helps players that we have now develop. The amateur scout helps us get other players. I think the assistant coach is where we're probably heading next. I do want to see, though, GM reputations. So Detroit and Nashville don't like me very much, but 21 teams on neutral. It's not too bad. How close are we to our next one? 64% of the way? Still have a horrible reputation, though.